happy you could make
We're
it.
open for business.
Now get the heck in here.
Get the heck in here. We just have like a terrible Brooklyn accent for only the intro and outro. That's it. Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of The Comic Stand. Obviously, subscribe before we get anything. What are you doing? Subscribe so we can make more content, obviously. So, hey, WandaVision's over. The next one's about to start. Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming out. What is it? Is it? What? I'm scared.
I had no idea. Tell me about this.
Oh my! What channel is this? Do we know anything about comics?
Is this on Comcast?
Comcast? Yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier is coming out. When I don't know when we're uploading this. We don't have an upload schedule, but it's coming out soon. You know, we did our top 5 favorite moments from WandaVision, and we kind of wanted to do our top 5 things we're looking forward to, or questions we want answered from the Falcon and Winter Soldier series coming up soon. I think WandaVision shocked a lot of people with how fantastic it was, and I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is only going to leap over that a little bit, which is going to be really, really cool. So yeah, that's what we got planned. If you don't like it, still sit around. Just leave the computer on, leave the video playing. You don't have to watch, just leave it playing so we get those views.
Can I just say before we start?
Yeah.
I didn't include this in my list, but I do want to talk about this because you just talked about how WandaVision blew us away.
Okay.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, we found out, has a budget that's 10 times higher than WandaVision.
Yeah. We looked that up when we did our video that never got released.
Yes.
WandaVision only had, I believe, $25 million budget for the entire series. The entire series.
Which was 9 episodes.
Yeah, 9 episodes.
Now, Falcon and Winter Soldier is 10 times the budget with 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's $25 million an episode, I believe, right?
Something like that, yeah.
That is insane. That's a budget for an actual Marvel movie, and you get probably, 5 hours, I would guess, out of it. Something along those lines. We have no idea yet. But that's crazy. That's a huge budget. That means we're going to see some really cool stuff. Obviously, in the trailers, we've already seen some really dope stuff with Falcon sweeping under the cars and that kind of thing.
Yes, and small budget for WandaVision, $25 million. We saw that what they can do with a small budget.
Yeah.
Like
even the
story,
effects.
the effects, the story that they can construct, I have a feeling our minds are going to be so much more blown than we already think they are.
This was technically supposed to be the second part of Phase 4. Coming out of Endgame, they probably really wanted to really shock fans and be like, hey, yeah, that story's over, but we're still a thing that you should care about. And so I think we're going to see some crazy stuff. I think WandaVision was the risk. It just so happens that they had to do that first because of COVID, unfortunately. But I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So with that, we each have a 5-item list. Yeah, 5 different things that we want to talk about. We have not seen each other's list at all. So it'll be interesting if we have anything with the same.
Number 1 for me. Okay.
Or number 5 for you.
Oh, this is my number 5.
Yeah.
But it's the
Get it
first
right,
one that I'm saying.
Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just spit everywhere.
We have a pretty decent origin story
for
Winter Soldier, for Bucky.
Yeah.
But we don't really know a whole lot about Sam Wilson still.
We do not.
We don't have an origin story. The first thing that we saw from him was just him running with Captain America in Washington, D.C.
Maybe that's the beginning of his story.
That's just where he was born.
Yeah. just run. He came out running. He was just running around that circle the entire time. Yeah, we haven't gotten a Falcon origin story. It's really just been him outside of the army.
Yeah, especially because, with WandaVision, we kind of got an origin story, which was great because... with a lot of characters, I don't really care anymore. Like Spider-Man, for example, he's one of my favorite superheroes, but I don't care to see his origin story.
We've seen his origin story a billion times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas with Wanda Maximoff, first off, her origin was obviously different than the comics, but it was nice to finally understand why she was the way that she was.
And I'm not upset that it's different than the comics. I think the MCU, again, we talked about this a billion times. If it was just a straight for straight copy of the comics, how much fun would that be? It
wouldn't be.
It's really cool to see all of us expected Wanda to be just strictly from the Mind Stone and not a mutant, and then you find out, oh my god, she had powers before she interacted with the Mind Stone. So it's really cool to see those types of origins that we, are different than the comics, but something that is, still impactful, just like the comics.
Yes, and Sam Wilson is one of those characters. We really don't know anything about him. I mean, I have researched his origin story, and it is pretty cool. Most people probably don't know. You know? And so by seeing his origin story, like with Wanda Maximoff, we'll be able to connect with him a little bit more. And so that's my number 5.
Nice. My number 5 goes back to the original release order of Phase 4. It was supposed to be Black Widow first, then Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm very curious, and I want to see if there's any connection between Black Widow and the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it'd be really cool to see, like, there's a big like gap in a lot of the, you know, post Civil War era, which is supposed to be what Black Widow is about, right? After she goes on the run, basically. It'd really be cool to see like a connection between Bucky and Sam and Black Widow, because they were all kind of on that same side. I don't know if that's going to be in the same time frame, but because it was right after Black Widow, it'd be really cool to have some kind of connection from like a Black Widow post-credit scene that connects to Falcon Winter Soldier, like it would have been had it been released correctly. So I wonder if there's going to be any kind of connection with the Black Widow program, with Black Widow character herself, anything like that. I think it'd be really cool to see that connection, because WandaVision was very much solely itself, which I think was very important to tell that story. I don't know if we have that deep of a story for Sam and for Bucky. I'm not sure. Like, you knew going into WandaVision it was going to be a deep story. Right. Like, you knew it was going to be about her issues, right? I don't know necessarily what it's going to be, because we kind of already see Bucky kind of deal with those issues. So it'd be really cool to see like connections to the broader MCU going to fall into play with this. Number 4.
So I said I did some research on Falcon because I wasn't too familiar with him. You know what I found out? So not only does he have those vibranium wings, which are already really cool, but apparently, eventually, Wakanda makes him wings that are literally made out of light. And I don't know what that means, but I can't wait to see it. That sounds cool.
That'd be really cool to see. Like, I think Marvel's done a really good job with making it feel very real world. Like, the Falcon in the comics looks almost like, at times, like an actual bird. Here, it's like a pack. Like, not a jet pack, but basically a jet pack, you know? And so they've done a really good job of, like, you know, modifying everyone's looks and all the tech to, like, real world thinking. But it would be really cool to see some, like, this is a comic book movie. This is a comic book show. Let's throw some comic book crap in there, you know? That'd be really cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, well, and obviously I don't know if that's going to be in the show, and I'm saying that's really one of the things I'm excited about, but like what I'm getting at is like there's a lot of really cool things about him that we don't know yet. And it would be cool if that was one of them.
My number 4 is I want to see an introduction. We didn't really get to see introductions into new characters in WandaVision. We saw Agatha Harkness, which was a new character, and Monica Rambeau, new character. That was it. I really want to see the main introduction of this show to be Elijah Bradley, who is the Patriot of the Young Avengers. It's basically the Captain America for the Young Avengers. So he, African-American kid, has some history to do with Captain America, which I'll get into later in my list. But it'd be really cool to see an introduction into his character that would lead into the Young Avengers eventually. I think it's really cool to have all of these extra shows be almost tie-ins and lead-ins to the bigger projects. So that way you don't have to see them to watch the bigger ones, but it'd be really cool to see a Young Avengers movie and to be like, that's the kid from Falcon and Winter Soldier somehow that gets connected to it. I believe in the comics there's part of it is like he does have like a super soldier serum-esque type of thing, but he gets addicted to it, I think, in the comics. Post in the comments if I'm incorrect, but I believe there's a storyline where he kind of almost gets addicted to it and he has to get off of it. And so for a while, he has 0 superpowers, but he's still the leader of the Young Avengers for the time in the comics with 0 superpowers because his leadership ability is that good. That would be my number 4.
All right.
Is that number 4?
That was number 4.
Number 4.
All right. Based off of the previews and based off of what I've seen in previous movies, I'm really excited to explore the dynamic between Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I didn't put that on my list.
Okay.
Because I already knew, like, not only were we probably going to talk about that, but that's like, that is the main part of the show. And I'm so excited for it as well. I didn't put it on my list, but I agree with you 1,000%.
Good.
Just seeing, like, it already looks like marriage, like the marriage counseling from the trailer and everything. Like, you have to remember, like, these two people hated each other. Like, it was Captain America's 2 lives merging together forcefully. One of my favorite scenes in MCU history was when Bucky was in the back seat and he asked Sam to move up his chair in the car when he was talking to Peggy, when Captain America was talking to Peggy, and he was like, no. that was one of my favorite scenes. Or just like when he gets rid of Spider-Man in Civil War and he's just like, you couldn't do that sooner, and he goes, I hate you. That's just a glimpse of what we're gonna see for like probably 40 minutes an episode for 6 straight episodes. So I completely agree. All right, my number 3. I want to see the first seeds of the Thunderbolts in this series. Obviously, the Thunderbolts from the comics at one point in time was led by freaking what's his name?
Oh, Ross?
Well, yeah, Thunderbolt Ross, but also Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
At one point led the Thunderbolts as well. And it'd be really cool if you saw Ross come back to talk to him about a team he's putting together almost. Like when Baron Zemo was like defeated at the end or something, you see Thunderbolt Ross walk in and is like, hey, I'm trying to work on something here. Like, would you be interested kind of thing? Almost like a reverse of Nick Fury with the Avengers. You're seeing Thunderbolt Ross go around to all these villains and being like, hey, I want people who I can control. Can I trust you kind of thing.
I hope that the level of action in this show is up to par with Captain America Winter Soldier. And I have a feeling that it will be, because that was my favorite part about Captain America Winter Soldier, was just the fact that it was nonstop action and it felt like a Bourne movie. Actually, in all honesty, it felt like a John Wick movie to some extent.
Yeah. It's the most action movie we really had in the MCU. Very spy action-esque. Not on my list, though. But it would be really dope. And I completely agree with you. My number 2. Are you ready for this?
I guess. Hit me with it.
This is my biggest question, I think, from Endgame. The directors, the writers, everyone has fought over it. I want this show, even if it's just a one-line thing, I want this show to tell me, where did old Cap come from? Whether it was him coming from an alternate timeline or them being two Captain Americas in the same timeline. I just want to know which one it is. I don't think it's going to have a huge impact on the story. I don't think it's important either way. I wouldn't be upset with either direction. I just want them to finally come out and say it on content. This is where he came from. Like, oh yeah, like even if it's like an offline, like old Cap shows up, which would be so cool. And Bucky just says like, you know, you haven't been around here in so long or something like that. Or like, did you ever run into yourself or something like that? Like, even if it's a one-off thing like that, I don't care. I just wanted to finally know which one it is. That's all I want. They might tell us here, Jacob.
They might here?
Yeah. I actually have Kevin Feige on a call after this.
I would probably melt in my chair if that happened.
Why did you think it's out on Quicksilver? Why?
Yeah.
Tell us.
This might be kind of a cop-out.
Okay.
I can't wait to have a long story arc for these two characters. I can't wait to see the progression over the course of 6 hours or so.
Yeah.
To see to see how these characters grow as individuals and as a team.
There's two outcomes I see that I would be both story-wise satisfied by this. Whether it's the Winter Soldier, Bucky, and Sam becoming like close friends and that like and gaining mutual respect for each other, or if they go their separate ways. I would be fine with either. Like maybe they end it and Bucky goes off with Sharon Carter to go on secret missions or something, or join SWORD or something, and then Sam goes back to start up the new Avengers. Two guys who are that testosterone-y. Like, I don't know if they can
Testosteronies in a pasta?
Make sure to eat your testosteronies every morning. No, I completely agree with you. I think it's very important to see like where these characters are going to lead into, because these are both two characters that we've had for a while, but we don't know exactly how they're going to fit in with the new Avengers, if that even is a possibility, or if they start their own thing or whatever. Because there's so many groups in the comics. The Defenders, the X-Force, X-Team, there's so many different teams.
The West Coast Avengers.
West Coast Avengers.
Did you ever see the Defenders on Netflix?
I still haven't watched any of the Netflix shows.
Oh, they're so good, but I guess it probably doesn't matter because Kevin Feige apparently doesn't care.
Who knows? They could be soft reboots.
They could be, but all I have to say is I would really love to see the dynamic between, even if it's just Punisher, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
My number one is something that you would probably be like, okay, that's obviously going to happen. Like, it's already been kind of said. But I want us to go deeper than that. And I want to see Sam officially be crowned, basically, in the government and the United States' eyes in the movies as Captain America. And I think going through that storyline, it'll be very interesting. There's a couple different routes they can go, right? Is he not Captain America? Obviously, John Walker is going to be, or U.S. agent, is going to be Captain America, right? At least at the beginning. Is Sam not Captain America because of the Accords? Is he not Captain America because of other issues? Like, it'd be really interesting to see them dive deep into the issue of racism in the country. And really see, like, is there a reason because he's African American? Like, is that why you don't want him to be the symbol kind of thing? I don't know if Disney wants to go that route, but that being said, in the comics, one of the original Captain Americas was Isaiah Bradley, who's the grandfather of Elijah Bradley, who becomes Patriot, right? He was one of the first Captain Americas. He was the first ever African-American Captain America, and it was during World War II. And his story was basically pushed down by the government in the comics. So no one knew about him. He was like almost like a wise tale. It'd be so cool for Sam to go on this journey of like what the shield means, and for him to go to Isaiah Bradley and find out that he was a Captain America before. And for it to really dive deep into the black history in Captain America. I think it's the most important time right now to tell those kinds of stories, and I would really love for them to go that route. It is Disney, so I don't know if they will, but it'd be so cool if they did.
Even if that's not the route that they go, it's still going to have a profound impact.
Yeah.
Because you're right, that is something that I really think we could benefit from right now.
Yeah. Again, we didn't have any of the same ones.
We did.
Look at that.
We didn't.
Perfect. Let us know down below, what are some things you're looking forward to in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Obviously, we plan on doing watch parties, live streams of the episodes. We're not going to show you the episode. You have to get Disney Plus. Sorry. But we want to be able to talk with you guys while we watch it and really go over theories before and after. So let us know your theories or questions that you want to answer down below. And make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, since we don't, like you like to say, we don't really have a schedule right now. So you have to hit the bell icon to know when we upload, because it's kind of sporadic.
All right, everybody, the comic stand is closed. Now get the heck out of here!
Stupid Brooklyn accents, I love it.